Human beings have a strange and sometimes morbid fascination with bloodshed. From combat sports like boxing and MMA, to violent action and horror movies, and even gory video games, there's just something about combat that, for better or for worse, appeals to the human psyche, and nobody knew this better than the ancient Romans. That is why you would not survive the wild animals of the Roman arena. This is Ben, and you're watching Historic Mysteries. If you were a plebeian in Rome 200 years before Christ, one of your favorite pastimes would likely be the Bestiarii, aka human combat with wild animals. When the ancient Romans had condemned a particularly hated prisoner to death, they would often sick a wild animal on the person to tear them apart in front of a cheering arena. This practice therefore doubled as a form of entertainment and capital punishment for serious criminals and dissidents. When used as an execution method, it was known as Damnatio ad Bestias, condemnation to the beast. It was typically reserved for the worst criminals in society, runaway slaves, and later Christians. In fact, according to early Christian tradition, numerous figures revered as saints were the victim of this cause of death, including notably Saint Ignatius of Antioch. The Romans' preferred choice of animal was typically a Barbary lion, although other vicious predators including packs of wild dogs, brown bears imported from Central Europe, fearsome spotted leopards from northern Africa, and even Caspian tigers were also used. This was not a fair fight in any sense, mind you. According to Cicero, during one event, one single lion successfully slaughtered as many as 200 prisoners. To make matters worse, even if by some miracle you managed to slay the beast that was pursuing you, the Romans would simply continue releasing endless waves of fresh predators into the arena until the last dissident was dead. This was a terrifying manner of execution and was roundly feared by the enemies of Rome. According to Seneca the Younger, one Gallic prisoner from Germany was so fearful of the beast that in his cell before the games began, he took a toilet sponge and forced it down his throat, taking his own life. Another one threw himself headfirst into the spokes of a moving cartwheel, which snapped his neck, killing him instantly. And Symmachus tells of 29 Saxon prisoners who all agreed to strangle each other to death in their cells the night before the games, apparently preferring death by asphyxiation rather than being torn apart by the claws and teeth of the predators in the arena sand. So this was clearly a much feared fate in the ancient world. However, not all humans fighting animals in the arena were necessarily unwilling. There was a subset of bestiarii called Venatore, hunters. These were somewhat similar to gladiators, except they would fight exotic animals rather than other men, either for money or for glory and renown. It's believed, for example, that during the reign of Emperor Augustus, as many as 3,500 elephants may have been killed by Venatore during these games. Now, some of these stories are almost certainly exaggerated, it must be said. For example, according to ancient historian Cassius Dio, Roman Emperor Commodus entered the arena and allegedly killed 100 lions in a single day, earning him an association with the mythical hero Hercules, who in legend killed the Nemean lion as one of his divine trials. Commodus is also supposed to have decapitated an ostrich using a dart as it charged at him. While many of these tales seem hard to credit and may be exaggerated or outright fabricated for propaganda purposes, it appears as though fighting wild animals by choice was a real practice in ancient Rome. Schools called Scholae Bestiarum would train young men to fight these creatures, presumably so they could perform in the games in front of an audience. But whether one was fighting willingly or unwillingly, the prospect of facing a starved lion hand to hand was no doubt terrifying. I can certainly think of much safer ways to spend an afternoon. And that is why you would likely not survive being condemned to the beasts. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to share it with your friends and follow us on all social media sites. Check us out at Historic Mysteries for more fascinating historical content like this. As always, thanks for watching.